it gonna go? Is it gonna go? Is it gonna go? Is it gonna go? Hey, it went in one click. It went in one click. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of En-Syte. I'm Steven. Oh man, it is hot today. I don't care what anybody say. It is hot outside today in the Midwest. I'm joined here by my big bro Dre, and my friend Jen. We up in here doing the thing today. One time for the one time. So we are here. We are live. We are in full of heck. As I always say.
What up? What's going on? What's up, Steve?
Man, what up, y'all? What up? So, welcome to the show. Thank y'all for jumping in. It's hot in the mug outside. I know Jen out there in the heat right now, but she all right. She looking okay. She don't look like she look like she off roading right now the way she bouncing around in the vehicle. But
yeah, she doing that ATV and got going on right.
I know, right?
I got this Wrangler. I get my wheels popping.
Oh man. So right now, I just hope that everybody is at least who is out here in this weather right now, at least trying their best to stay cool. It's not extremely hot, but it's warm enough out there. So let's just hope that everybody is at least staying comfortably cool out there in this piece. So
most there.
Today, this topic has been brought to you by Jen, who is here right. Oh wait, let me point it this way because y'all see this way. This lady right here, this light-skinned lady right here, it's been brought to you by her. So the topic is, when dealing with a relationship, is it best to think with your heart or with your mind? Is it best to think logically? We're gonna put that word in. Put the word in it logically. To think with your heart or with your head. Now we all know that in the beginning stages of you meeting somebody, it's more of a butterflies in your stomach. So you're not really thinking with your mind. You're thinking with your heart. You're thinking like, man, this person really likes me. This person actually likes a brother. Okay. So you feeling that. And then eventually as time goes on, then you start to wonder like, okay, wait, do this person really like me for me? Or is this just some other shit? So we're going to discuss which is best to think with, your heart or your head. We're going to do the pros and cons of each and figure out at the end of this episode which one is the best. Let's start off with thinking with your head. Which one of y'all like to go first about talk about thinking with your head in terms of a relationship?
Go ahead, Jen.
Okay, so I posed that question because I'm a logical thinking person. My career definitely aligns with that. And even when it comes to relationships, I can honestly say that I am one who tends to think logically.
Okay.
Like if I, for example, the relationship I was in with my son's father, I had feelings for him, but I just knew it was not a good situation. And although I had feelings for him and I was having a baby with this man and we were engaged, living in the house together, my head, my logic to where I saw that relationship going, it just would not let me go any further.
Okay.
So out of all of, and most people, believe it or not, men and women would tend to choose, well, I have a baby with this person. We've built all these things. We're married. I don't want to walk away from the marriage. So they choose, in my opinion, they choose the heart or they choose to settle.
Yeah.
As well. But for me, I don't know if it's realistic to say you can do both in a relationship because I think that one will always supersede the other.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion.
Okay. So
what do you guys think?
Well, go ahead.
Personally, you can't. One's always going to supersede the other one. And usually when it comes to me, it's usually my heart.
Okay.
Because a lot of times you don't think logically about a lot of stuff that's going on right then and there. But also using your heart more than your mind, using your heart more than your head, it tends to a lot of heartbreak. Because you're doing things impulsively without thinking things out totally.
Yeah.
And when you're impulsive, you're totally effing up, to be honest with you. So I say that with me personally, it was a lot with my heart, and it wasn't with my head. Mm-hmm. And with your heart, you tend to hold on a little bit longer. because
Yeah.
you will sit there and you will know, oh, this shit is over with.
Yeah.
It's over. But you will continue to want to still try to make amends or even try to make it happen because your heart is still connected to something else.
That is true.
So so my whole thing is, man, is that when both of them are are conflicting with each other, you're gonna have to pick the one that's gonna lead you to less heartbreak. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Which in some cases is a very, very difficult thing to do because you don't want to feel heartbreak, period. And yeah, you probably would go with the lesser of two evils depending on which causes the less pain. Um, but yeah, sometimes it's better to let go than to hold on. But when it comes down to thinking with your heart, like you said, Dre, yeah, you do hold on a little bit longer than you would be thinking with your head. But when you're thinking with your head, you're seeing things that you also may see things that aren't there because you're probably going to think about some things that happened beforehand, like what happened before another relationship, and you see things that aren't really the similar signs. So you're letting your head supersede your heart in terms of this person is actually genuinely caring for you, but you're trying to see things that aren't really there. So if you're seeing things that aren't really there that could potentially hurt the relationship, you're not really thinking with either or.
Like the Ghetto Boys say, my mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing it does. Your mind will play tricks on you a lot as well. It's a catch 22.
Yes, it
It's
is.
six in one hand and it's a half a dozen in the other, because your mind will play tricks on you, thinking things, you having jealousy issues,
Mm-hmm.
and you seeing things that's not there, but your heart is holding on to like a heartstring. Is like everything that this person does. It's like it's breaking your heart if it's not what you want to happen.
Yeah, and nobody
I'm sorry,
wants to.
Jen. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
So when you mentioned, I think so. When I start off in a serious relationship, I start with my heart, but then it definitely morphs to logic because initially, like I do feel like, to your point, I stayed in that situation way too long with my son's father because I was a regret from a previous relationship, and I felt like I gave up too quickly. So it was like I need to try. I need to try because
Yeah,
you know we can make things work. We can try to make things work. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how hard I tried, how hard I tried. It just was not going to work because you cannot fix that other person. So one of the things I've learned, because I do read quite a lot of books actually. One of the things I've learned, and this is through reading that Love Sense book that I recommended to y'all. And then there's another one, but like you learn someone's love language.
We're not plugging nobody. We ain't
Well,
plugging no
no,
books right about now.
we're
We
not.
don't do no plugging on the show.
We're
We ain't
not
plugging nothing.
fun. I'm just telling you, like where the I would say where the eye opening came into play because I can't remember the name of the book, but it was about understanding who you are and knowing that the only person that's in charge of your happiness is you.
yeah,
That's what that book was about. So
You want to know something? You want to know something with that, Jennifer? That is probably the most wonderful thing to even know, is that you are in charge of your own happiness. No
hmm
yeah,
one, no one can enhance it. No one can do anything but your happiness, but be a part of it.
yeah. That
That's
is
yes,
it.
true.
yes.
Because you control the narrative of everything that happens inside of your life and in your life and in your heart. You control that.
Yeah,
And when you let people into it, that's when the trouble comes.
that is
So
very true.
okay, now so would you say, because you said that you tend to lead with your heart, or you stayed in a relationship because of your heart, would you say that you were looking for some type of um fulfillment from that person when you stayed in that situation, just based on how you felt, your emotions?
I think what it probably was with me more so was the fear of the unknown.
Hmm.
You know how you always can go back to a safe haven,
Yeah,
and I felt that that was the safe haven.
And that's what a lot of people do. That is something that a lot of people do. Some people actually do not leave a relationship or a situation due to the fact of fearing the unknown and staying in and staying in a quote unquote comfort zone. Um,
Even though your man telling you like, oh
yeah.
hell no,
So
we ain't
that
taking this shit today.
yeah,
But
and
you be
that
like, yeah, but your heart be like, but
you don't want to
we
feel
don't
you.
know what's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, come
So
on,
that's
man.
just that.
I'm
That's
sorry,
that
Steve.
prime. No, that's cool. That's that prime example of the heart superseding the mind at that point. That's the heart superseding the head. So, and that right there, kid, is a little bit of a conflicting thing. Neither one can be exactly balanced. One is always going to be a little bit higher than the other, at the least. Like it's going to be like a little gap between one and the other. It's never going to be equal. It's always one over the other. And with that being that, is that you have to make the decision on which is more prominent, which one makes more sense to you and your happiness in terms of going further with the situation or the relationship that you're in, or cutting it off right then and there. And yeah,
Yo, Steve, I know you. Excuse me, Steve. I know you talking, bro, but you just seen what Jean just turned that corner, man. She turned that corner like, man, she was
oh yeah,
like somebody was chasing
I
her,
seen her
bro.
lean, I seen that lean with it. I seen
Man,
that lean.
she bent that corner hard, bro.
Man, she tried to swerve on. Was it
I'm
swerve
sorry,
on?
y'all. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. She swerved on him. It's all right. She in that Wrangler swerving on people. It's all right. It's all good. So, but yeah, that's just the thing. It's just to figure out which one is best to go with in terms of continuing on with what it is that you're doing, and
Okay, so
that's that.
you said if it's based on which one is best for you, then how is it that your heart could ever win in that situation? If you're gonna stay in a relationship, or leave a relationship based on which one is best for you.
Hmm.
In my opinion, I don't think the heart would ever win because now you have to analyze. Now you have to think about short term. You have to think about what's going on right now, short term, and then you have to think long term.
Yeah,
Like what type of either progress is going to make for you growing as a person, or how it's going to damage you as a person.
that is true. That is true. And that's a difficult thing again within itself. When it comes down to thinking between either or, it's a very very difficult thing to try and come up with. Like me personally, I'm the type of person that yeah, in the beginning I will go ahead with my heart, and then after that I will go with my mind, and
Hi.
and then like that's where I tend to, I'm not gonna say mess up, but that's why I tend to overthink because that's the type of person I am. I tend to overthink a little bit too much in terms of that. So I try not to and actually let things flow naturally as best as they can. So so everybody, y'all know Shay. Shay has joined us in here. Shay has joined us on the show.
Hi, you guys.
So Shay, you just caught us in the middle of talking
Hi,
about
Shay.
thinking about
Hey,
you
Pooh.
know, use a heart and head
What's up,
thing.
you guys? Oh, this sounds like a grown folks topic. This is nice.
Uh-huh. And you probably grown folks. Let's go ahead and get this topic really flowing. Come on, man. You in this? You come with
Oh,
it. So right now, so right now, when it comes down to relationship, which one is more logical in terms of thinking? Think with your heart or think with your head?
ooh. Well, okay. More on a logical thought, I would say thinking with your mental.
Hmm.
The only reason why I say thinking with your mental is because there is no emotional reaction when you thinking with your mental. You literally strategically thinking. You thinking as to whether or not can we build financially, can we build stability together? Are we even compatible? Like there is no emotions in it when you thinking with your mental.
Yeah. So
What about when you let that heart take over?
yeah.
Oh, okay. When you let the heart take over, that's where all the complications come in because you, at the end of the day, mentally, you like, this person is not good for me. Like, we have nothing in common. We're not compatible. I don't see me being with him for a long time. He stresses me out. He add more to my plate and more to my stress and taking it away. But when the heart take over, it's always that ounce of hope. Like that ounce of hope always comes from emotions. It never comes from a mental standpoint.
Yeah.
So what if you
Oh wait a minute, we kind of lost it. We kind of lose connection with Jen. Hold on.
are compatible? You are compatible.
I agree. I
but
definitely that's where is the that's where the heart comes in. Because majority of the time we are
I mean,
yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you now.
good conversations, all that. But can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. Yeah. You are compatible, but that person just brings so much damn drama and
yeah.
We done lost Jen. Jen must be in a bad area.
Yeah,
You know, she's
be.
driving.
Yeah.
But
So,
go ahead, talk about the toxic part of what you were saying.
So Jen mentioned that what if we are compatible, but it's so much toxic.
mental insecurity. Person has which is
I got you. So let me go ahead and answer that. So if we compatible and we toxic, like that would legit have to be something that have to be let go. Like then you have to think mental. Like you cannot have no emotions in there because emotions will have you stuck and stand in that toxic situation.
Yes.
I ain't gonna front. This camera is making me glow, dude. Like I don't know what it is, but I'm loving it. All that vitamin D I done got from the sun today.
Yeah, that you sun kissed. That's what it is. You've been out there in the sun for a while. You've been sun kissed.
Good for your bones.
Yes, it is, and for the skin, as you can see.
A little vitamin.
I like your glasses. Your glasses are awesome.
A little vitamin D goes a long way, huh, Shay?
We have to go back to the joke from earlier, but yes, vitamin D goes a long way.
Okay, but now we already know that the heart and the head basically will conflict with each other and make you think things differently or feel things differently. But what about the more so good side of it? Like, what about like you actually feeling with your heart and thinking with your head, and it's actually leading you in the right direction?
Oh, then you win it.
Like, just win it, huh?
There's no doubt.
Okay, so how about this? Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
I like that.
So you said that you're winning. So you're in a situation with someone and you're thinking logically and it's going perfectly. Right. But then someone from the past come up that you know that your heartstrings are attached to. And this person was like, hey, I know I screwed up. I left you for a girl, but I realized that she's not the one for me. I'm in love with you, and I want to be with you. What are you going to do?
Oh, my God, Jen. So let me pick you. Woo! That's that hit of the blast from the past, baby.
It gets tough, right?
Yeah, that's a tough thing.
You're in a logical situation, and it's like, man, drama free. He's doing everything for you. You're doing everything for him. You are genuinely in love, but then this person who truly has your heart comes back.
She talking to somebody in the background. Give a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. My nephew, like, when you're done, can we talk? But okay, so she didn't hit us with the blast from the past.
Yeah. So what you gonna do in this situation?
I definitely had that happen to me. I was like in a really good space. I was talking to somebody. When I say my nose was wide open, I had a different glow about me. It was so peaceful. And here come boom. It was somebody that like he was like my drug, and I couldn't do nothing to like really. If I could go to like some type of rehab to try to get him out of my system, it's like no, I'd be one of them relapse type of
Lord Jesus.
Yes, so that happened. I'm like, okay, like, whoa, it took some time because I didn't slip. I slipped up a couple of times. You know, I didn't put the new dude off for a couple of days.
That slipped up and let him slip in.
Yeah, you know,
She said, yeah.
She didn't lie about it. She didn't lie about it.
I definitely am human. You know, that's definitely when I had the emotions like definitely took over. It was that what if you give this a try again? And that was strictly emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, whoo. It was one day I almost got caught up. I'm like, okay, Shay, you know what you doing ain't right. You know this. That's when the logic had to kick in. I needed that quick reality check. Like, you know what you doing ain't right. This ain't right. Y'all ended bad the first time. There's a possibility y'all gonna end bad again.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a routine because he kept a 2-hole rotation. So I'm like, this ain't.
She said a
This
2-hole rotation. Oh my
I
God.
yes, a 2-hole rotation is when you got 2 holes. Okay, you got hole 1 and hole 2. When hole 1 ain't ready or ain't giving you no attention, you go straight to hole 2. So I was in that type of rotation. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, you too old to be doing 2-hole
Like,
rotation. That's not
man,
good.
I could just imagine something like that, right? You know, you just hear like
Hole number 2, please step up. Hole number 2, please step up.
Yes,
that's exactly what it be like. That's exactly what it's called. Like you just hear that sound and then like it'll be like just hear it again.
Boop. Next hole in line. Next hole in
right.
line. Please step up. Again.
Yeah.
Next hole in line. Step up.
I'm like, wait a minute. Now, how you gonna do that to somebody? I lost one. I gotta refill.
I had to like say this ain't right. This ain't right. This is not right. You in at one point in one situation, I'm like, I'm number one, I'm A1 in this situation, and then in this blast from the past, I don't know if I'm hope 1, I'm hope 2. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know where I stand. So I had to, when I say I had to block, I had to go ghost, like for real.
Man, he over here trying to be cat in the
I
hat.
can't stand you for that question, but because boy, it was one of them pulling, like you know how you teeter totter a little bit.
I'm sorry, y'all. I dipped out for a second. I apologize.
No, you all good. You all
You
good.
missed the question, Dre.
Yes, yeah, he wasn't here for the question.
So,
What's the question?
so one of the things that Shay mentioned, and I just hung on to the word compatibility. Compatibility. So I said, well, what happens if you're in a situation, playing devil's advocate, where you are in a logical situation, things are working perfectly, there is no drama, but then you have this person from the past who has your heart. What are you gonna do? And they come back and say, I want to be with you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Leave her for me. Come back to me.
We
can make it work.
He ran to the past.
I run to the past.
You do?
What about you, Jen?
I am. Y'all know what? So.
Hey, tell my buddy I said hi.
Yeah. Looking at the screen. Y'all know what? Oh my gosh. I often wonder if I've ever really been in love. Because it's so easy for me to leave a nigga. I hope I can say that word on YouTube.
Not really, but okay.
It's so easy for me
to leave a brother.
A guy, because I've dated. Look, that's the universal word, okay? I've dated outside of my race. I've dated black, white, and Hispanic. Those are 3 different ethnicities I've dated, and it's so. I'm like, I'm done. Nope. There's one Hispanic dude I was dating for a little bit. He was like, I was just straight up with him. I was like, dude, I don't have the patience to teach you how to treat me in a relationship. I feel like at a certain age, you should know the basics when it comes to treating a woman of a certain caliber, especially if that's the type of woman you want. You
Yeah.
need to step up to the plate or keep it pushing. And he was like, please just be patient with me. I really wanted to, be with you. And I was like, nope.
Patience only can run for so damn long. I'm sorry. It only can run for so
Preach
damn
on
long.
that. Preach on that again, brother. Preach on
It,
that one
it
again,
really can
brother.
only run for so long.
Yeah.
When it comes down
She
to it, you can
like
be
the
patient.
people now.
I'm
If
like,
they
yeah,
ain't coming right, she gonna fake like
exactly. Because
I'm not going to even fake like you.
like here's the
If
thing,
you
like
ain't good, you ain't good. I'm just gonna be real with you. And that's part of it too. Like I've noticed that even when I was married and in a relationship, because I've really only been in two serious relationships.
Mhm.
When I was with my son's dad, I can be a bit brutally honest. So I've learned how to filter that a lot.
okay.
right,
To have a more, I would say, amicable conversation. So what I do is I kind of take the work. Like if I was gonna tell someone at my job, I don't like you, but I would tell professionally. And that's how I've learned how to. Sometimes you gotta approach a relationship that way too. So that is something that I have matured to learn to do. But y'all, I can't say that I've been in a situation where I was like, I'm gonna make this work. Especially when I left my son's father, and I was 3 months pregnant.
mm,
Move clean out. Move clean out.
Okay.
Like I ain't dealing with this crap.
okay,
I'm out.
all right.
In.
That
So I
oh,
mean, and so I can't say that I've been in a situation where I've just wanted to fight and really make it work. I can't say that. I've always been a logical thinker, and I'm like even as
yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with logically thinking in terms of situations like that, because you want to also do what's best for you. You still want to do what's best for you, even if that does mean having to. Oh God, don't y'all can still hear me?
Yeah, you kind of low, but I still can hear you, bro.
Okay, my camera kind of like funky right now, but at least y'all can still hear me. That's a good thing. So I'm just gonna. Her phone died.
I told her to put that damn thing on charge 2 hours ago.
Yeah, she was
When I
supposed to
put
put it.
mine on charge.
Yeah, she was supposed to put it on charge, and GC even said she was gonna put it on charge, but she did not do it due to the fact that she ended up being outside working in the yard with her parents, and she's afraid she was not gonna hit the alarm. So yeah, she ended up with that. Right now, YouTube, I do apologize for my camera being a little bit. Okay, no, it's back now. It's back. Okay, it was a
We
little bit
good?
funky right now, but my camera's back. Yeah, I guess it just went through
All
that
right.
little spell. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with thinking logically in a relationship because you want to do what's best for you. You don't want to try and continuously hold on to something that you know is not going to, that's not going to go any further than what it is, or things are not going to get better. You've been patient. You tried your best to work through it during the beginning parts. Things still have not changed. And that is where people fail to realize that people don't see things that change. Um, People that see that things don't change are just still trying to force it to change or still trying to stick with it to change, and they just need to understand that if it's not changing, stop trying to feel with your heart and everything like that. Yes, it's good to have feelings for that person, but if they're tearing you down more so than they're picking you up, then it's time to go. It's time
Oh,
to
most
actually think
definitely.
with your mind and actually like, this is not what's good for me no more. This is not good for my heart. This is not good for my mental. It's time for me to go. That's the only time that those two actually intertwine, is when it's time to go, because you're doing it
But,
for the health of both places.
but a lot of times, what really needs to happen is us as humans. We know we need to go, but sometimes we want to hold on and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to start putting yourself first instead of start thinking about the relationship. You have to think about you
Yeah.
and what you need to do for you. And when you start putting yourself there first, and you start having brutally honest conversation with you, not the other person.
Mm-hmm.
When you just wake up and you're like, I can't do this shit no more. I just can't do it no more. And it's not because it's the outside force. It's the force that's inside of you.
Exactly. See, a
I'm,
lot.
I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
I sat there. I went to work one day. I came home from work, and it happened. I just came home from work. I just can't do it no more. And I got off work at 2 o'clock. By 3:30, I was gone.
Mm.
It's just to a point that your heart, your mind, everything has to correlate, and you just like, I just can't do it.
Yeah, I did the same thing with my ex fiance. Is that it was just like I was at the point like I just couldn't do it anymore. I grabbed what I could carry, and I just left. Grabbed what I could carry, and I left.
You
That's
said,
just
So I wonder, so does that mean that when people say unconditional love, does that really exist?
yes.
You think it really exists?
It really does exist. It's
I think, and this is my logical thinking,
uh-huh.
all of
I think you got a problem with love.
maybe.
That could be a
Okay.
problem. That
I'm
could
just
be
playing.
like no. That's actually a legit thing, but it's not like it's a bad thing.
No, I do. I honestly think it's all conditional. Because if you're in a situation where now you learn that it's not good for you, can you still say that you unconditionally love that person?
You can still love that person
Yes.
true enough. But the one condition that takes over anything is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You mean more to you than anybody else.
Exactly.
And so you can still love that person. Your love isn't changing because your love is still unconditional for that person.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that person treats you back, then you have to unconditionally love yourself. And then you have to step away out of that. Steve, do you have any comments?
Yeah, they just starting to come in right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they literally started coming in once Shay left. But yeah, Neen just popped in, and Neen says, "Jen, you love Mac unconditionally." So
I
yes,
do.
there is a such thing as unconditional love.
I do, and
So-
that was my only exception when I thought about it. Because you said, yeah, it does. I thought about him. I said he's probably my only exception right now.
Yeah,
I do love him
and
unconditionally.
that's the thing. And people don't fully understand what it means by unconditional love. They just think like, "Oh, I love you no matter what." Now, here's the thing: it is no matter what, but do you really mean no matter what? Because of course, to some degree, there'll be some slight condition. Nothing that's major, but it's something that's like a little small condition.
Nigga,
But-
you ain't gonna treat me wrong.
No, that's the
And I'm gonna still continue to love you. You don't
Exactly.
feel like this, but you ain't gonna treat me wrong.
Exactly. You'll still be treated the way you need to be treated. You'll be treated greatly by a person who loves you supposedly unconditionally. Like the only time that a person can really say unconditional love, because just like you said, right, you will care about yourself first, right?
You
You
have
care
to.
about yourself. That'll be the key thing. But you are with somebody that you love unconditionally to the point that you care for yourself to a degree, but you care for this person more. That is the more so I'll take a bullet for you kind of feeling. I'll take a bullet for you kind of love. That's what that is. Now that is the whole point, is that you're willing to risk your life to save someone else.
A bullet.
That's the mentality.
I'm from the
Somebody want to
shaft,
be
bro.
the sacrificial lamb. They want to be the sacrificial lamb.
I'm just
I'm
saying
from
that
the
is
shaft, bro.
I know, but see that's the thing. That's the terminology. To take a bullet for you mentality. The basically like I'm willing to put my life on the line to make sure that you survive.
Yeah, that's true.
To try
Okay,
and
I
help
got
you survive. That's the mentality. It's like, here's the thing. I know that this person is on a deathbed in the hospital and they need some form of a transfusion. I got to lose a certain part of myself that could possibly kill me to save this person. I'm going to go underneath that knife to make sure that this person lives. That's what that basically is saying.
My children.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like in a relationship, because
It
I know
depends. It depends on
many of my
the.
family members love me unconditionally.
Yeah.
So, but in a relationship, like, is that? And I guess it is, because I can think of some scenarios where, for example, when a husband dies, the wife dies shortly after because they died from a broken heart.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, yeah. So there are okay.
There are situations. There are situations. It may not be pure. It may not be pure 100% unconditional love. Like, oh, I love you no matter what. There's no conditions. There's no reasons as to why I would never not love you or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't care if you gain weight. I don't care if you like that one song. I forgot who it is, but you know what I'm getting. Don't care if your hair turned gray. Don't care if you gain a little weight. Whatever. Still gonna love you.
You know, that's like my favorite song that's out right now, even though it's old, is Johnny Gill and Ralph Tresvant, Perfect.
Uh-huh. So that's just basically
Jen,
what that is.
you gotta hear it.
Yeah, I'm like,
I gotta hear that. I never
Perfect.
heard that either, but I gotta listen to that though. That sounds like it's good.
Perfect. It's just no matter. It's like you telling, no matter what, you perfect to me.
Exactly. And that right there is visually and emotionally, in a sense, unconditional love. You are perfect regardless of any of your flaws, any of your setbacks, and things of that nature. That's what that is. And that is a person who is both who they're thinking with their heart and their head nearly simultaneously. Because I know I love this person in my heart, and I know the reasons why I love this person. And those two things will coincide with each other and actually can make a relationship better, because you're going to act accordingly in terms of how you're treated. The better you're treated, you know, the better the relationship is going to be, and you're going to treat that person just as well back. And it's just a back and forth, and the better y'all treat each other, the better relationship is going to be, back and forth all the way up until y'all like, I'm happy than a mother. I'm happy than a mother. I can wake up next to this person every damn day and not wonder why the hell you here. Simple.
What else we got? What else we got? The comments, Bill.
Yeah, Neen said, Jen, you better love her unconditionally.
You see, she keep on saying,
you better love. Neen said, you better love her unconditionally.
I do.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You better love her unconditionally. Y'all heard it here. She loves her unconditionally.
You heard Mama. Mama,
Yeah.
we better love her.
We love you too, Mama. We love you too.
They said they love you too, Mama.
Oh man. Shay said, well, Shay was asking, we already explained, like, what does that no matter what phrase really mean? Basically, I already oh my God, I pulled out my headphones. Hold on.
We still hear you, bro.
Yeah, I know you'll still hear me, but the sound would have been coming out. The sound, you guys would have heard me, but I wouldn't have been able to hear you. That's the thing.
Gotcha.
Like, y'all would still hear me because of the mic. YouTube would still hear y'all because of the program. But due to the fact that the program is recording the sound from off of the computer onto YouTube, it's not coming out of the speakers. So I wouldn't hear y'all.
All right, dude.
And I just snatch the whole thing out. I need a longer set of headphones or something. I don't know.
Then we're gonna be on Amazon tonight. Start ordering what we need, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? I need another webcam too, because at least I can get me a second webcam, and that's a whole future talk right there.
We're trying to do some freaky stuff around that gym, dog. We need another webcam.
Hey, don't be telling my business, man. Don't be telling my business. That takes about like 5 webcams set up at like 6 different angles.
You can just control it with a remote.
I want 5 webcams. You know what? I'm gonna get here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a drone and just set it on hover. And just leave it at hover and just let it circle around.
Whatever. This whole thing went off the rails now.
No, okay, we coming back. We coming back. Okay, so yeah.
So wait, Steven, you didn't answer the question. What do you think with mostly, your head or your heart?
I did answer that question. You didn't hear me, Jennifer. Yes, I did, Jennifer. Since you didn't, I said I think with my heart in the beginning, and then later on I start thinking with my head.
Okay.
And then that's when I start to think logically, and that's why some of my relationships don't last no more than 6 months. Dude, ever since my ex-fiance, I have not had a relationship that lasted longer than 6 months. I literally thought back on.
You the one with the issue with love.
I do not have an issue with love. We're going to point that out right now. I do not have an issue with love. I just have an issue with the fact that I love too damn hard, and I don't get what I give back. I don't get back what I give, and that's the part that gets me. Like each
But
relationship.
do you love yourself first?
Huh?
That's a question. That's a question for Mama. This is a question from Mama to you.
Yeah.
But do you love yourself first?
No, not in the past. I didn't, but now I do.
Okay. I think it's.
So she said everything will fall in line now.
Yeah.
Like you say you love yourself when you do anything, and then everything else will fall in line. But go ahead, Jennifer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, baby girl.
I think that takes a lot of practice to get to the point where, and unfortunately, you have to go through some bad experiences to get to that point. where you're at a point where you can say, hey, you can step back and really take your time. One, because that I think when you start taking your time in a relationship, that's when the logic kicks in. You say, I'm not gonna rush into this situation. I'm gonna make sure this person and I are compatible on almost every level.
Hmm. And that's what I do.
That and that takes a lot of. I mean, to Mom's point, it takes you got to love yourself first because that takes a lot of self analyzing. Because you
Yes.
do have people who are serial daters. You know, they're in and out of relationships, never happy, looking to rush into marriage. I mean, it's kind of like circles back to the other conversations that we had, but
Yeah.
it takes self growth, I should say,
Well, you
personal.
got right. Well, you got to have, like you just said, that person. I just got to have a man. Well, I just got to have a woman.
Yeah. You ain't gotta
And you,
have neither or.
and you haven't looked into yourself. You don't even know what was the reason why this last relationship didn't work.
Hmm. And they always think it was somebody else. No,
No, you have to learn how to analyze yourself,
exactly.
analyze what's going on inside of you.
Which is what I did after this last relationship I was in. I did do that. Like I said, I haven't been in a relationship in almost 2 years. So
Hmm.
in them 2 years, I did take time out to myself to think and realize that. And I realized that I wasn't 100% of the problem, but I did cause most of the problem in terms of
But when you self analyze a lot of things in relationship, the first thing we do in relationship is over with. That person did this. That person did that. That
it. Hmm.
person did that. Or you are the one who always say it was all my fault. That's your hard talk
Yeah.
because you're not thinking logically. It was my fault. I could have did better. I could have did this. I could have did that. But
No.
your heart's the one hurting. That heart ain't even hurting
Yeah.
because they left the situation because it was what they wanted.
Exactly. Got a
So
couple
you
of
so
comments.
you have to be logical when you think about how a relationship ends and everything else
Yes,
because everything
exactly.
is not always your fault.
No, it's not. It is really not.
And
Okay.
and that comes to also knowing what red flags are.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. You got to
And
realize those red flags right there. Wait, hold on. Before
yeah,
we go,
and
before we
not
get in,
and
I got comments. They're coming in. Got comments. Trying to get them.
okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead, Jen. Before you put the comments. Go ahead, Jen.
I was gonna say, dang it, now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Damn,
Just go
come
through the
comments.
Okay. Neen said, "Be nice, brother." And Neen also says for us to play nice. I'm guessing that's referring to me and Jen.
Always.
Um, hmm Neen also asked me, do I sabotage my own relationships? Nah, no, I don't. I don't sabotage them. I just dig a little bit too deeply at times.
Okay.
She says you have to love yourself first before you can learn to love someone else, which is very true. We all are in agreement with that. She also says people need to understand it is a big difference between being alone versus being lonely.
Being lonely. Oh, most
Yes,
definitely, Russ.
there
Come with the
is
truth, brother. Come with the truth.
there is a huge difference between that, and not a lot of people understand that difference. I mean, the thing is,
A lot of people don't know how to be alone.
yeah, they don't know how to be alone. Like people, this like you said, like y'all just said, those serial daters, they always feel like they have to be with somebody because they feel like, oh, I'm just so lonely. I'm like, no, you're not lonely. You just don't like being alone. You just don't like being alone. You need to understand the fact that if you can be alone, you'll find out you will not be lonely. You will not be lonely if you're okay with being alone. That's the time that you need to take to yourself to understand yourself. Because if you're not doing that, you too busy bouncing from relationship to relationship. You're not seeing what's wrong with you because you're so
Most definitely.
busy trying to fix. You're so busy trying to focus on whomever it is you're trying to talk to next. And that's why she just keep on putting you in a position like I don't want to be by myself. I don't want to be by myself. And now you just end up in just all these relationships that they don't give a damn about you. Not one bit of a damn.
The biggest thing one can do is learn self. We learn everything there is in books and everything else. And we always learn what people always tell us about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But rarely do we sit there and learn ourselves.
This is true.
And that's the one thing that we have to learn how to do is learn ourselves. Learn you.
Yes.
It's not what your mom and your dad have instilled into you because you're not your mom and your dad. It's not what society is. It's all this combined. But at the end of the day, you're still you.
Yes.
And you have to learn. And you have to learn. You learn what your strength is, your weaknesses are, but you have to learn whom you are. And a lot of times, people have different breaking points.
Yeah, they do. And they come at different times and in different ways. By the way, Nee just want to say these are all her comments. None of them are Russell's. I guess you said Russ at some point and she heard it.
Got you. So we so it's just Lean coming by ourselves today.
Yeah, Nee and Shay.
Okay, cool beans. How we looking on viewership?
We between 4 and 6, back and forth between 4 and 6.
Hey, thank you. Whoever out there, whoever's watching this with us right now, we want to say thank you. We appreciate you. Please tell everybody about this so they can subscribe. We're here every Tuesday and every Thursday. So we can talk about everything dealing with life, or love, happiness, ignorance, whatever it's going to be. We're here every week, 2 days a week. Usually Steve is here. I'm one of the contributors typing stuff in, but I'm on TV today. Hey, y'all.
Oh my God, that was funny.
Jim Dog, go. Come with
man.
Come with it, Jim Dog. Talk
It
to me.
was a great discussion. I think that when it comes to making the decision in a relationship for head and heart, I think that head definitely outweighs heart.
Yes.
You can still love. You can still love someone, be very much in love someone, even if you're in a situation based on logic. So, yeah, this was a great topic. It was very insightful. Thank you, Stephen, for picking the topic and using it on your show.
No problem. Thank you for the topic. I really do. I appreciate you both. So
this damn smile be killing me.
I know, right? Look at the nice little cute smile. She thinks she all cute. Man. Oh God, that she done made some dimples. Oh Lord. Oh my God. Okay. So with that all being said, of course, it is always good to think with both of them as best as you can. It's good to feel with both of them as best as you can and try and come up with some form of common ground. Of course, it's going to be more difficult to do than to actually do it. And it's always going to be a different scenario in different situations. So try not to rush into anything with your heart and try not to overthink anything with your mind, because that's in times when people tend to mess up something that's actually meant for you. So try your best again to have them work together as closely as possible to feel the love that you're getting from somebody without thinking like, okay, they're just doing this just because of whatever. Because all in all, it could lead to something a whole lot greater in terms of happiness for you and that person and your long-term relationship. So when it comes down to thinking with your heart and your head, they both are the same, just from different perspectives. Pretty much it. So, okay, get that look on his face. I see. So, with that all being said, watching, I appreciate the comments and everything of that nature. I'm glad everybody was able to tune in as best as they can. If you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button so that way you know when we here. You can see all the other past videos that I have done with other people as well as just by myself. Hit that notification bell. That way you get notified every time we get online. Like I said, we go online every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you don't know what that is, just look up Chicago. Most definitely you'll find it then. So, as we go ahead and leave up out of here, Dre, Jen, I appreciate both of y'all for coming in and doing the show with me. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Y'all know I love y'all to death. Well, I love you to death. I love you to death, bro. Jen, she kind of iffy.
I love you too, little bro. And yo, everybody, y'all be easy now. Be easy.
All right. So as we go ahead and get on up out of here, y'all have a beautiful day. Remember, as always, stay insightful. Peace.